Sup, guys. It's the time you've been waiting for. It is time for Dark Magicians. I've been promising it for weeks. I told you it was coming. I told you so. So, finally bringing it to you. Sorry for the delay. I just wanted to make sure I got it pretty much as perfect as can be with tons of amazing replays, or at least semi-decent replays. Just something that would make you guys go, wow. Ryu actually took a lot of time to make this shit happen. My opponent is playing a Dark Magician deck, has that Dark Paladin, and yes, that is the new Magician Girl, so these replays are not even that old. These replays are fairly new. So that is Apprentice Illusion Magician that you just saw. We talked about it numerous times on the channel, especially yesterday, in the first of the brand new series, hopefully the first, and that's going to be the end of the replay there, because he can't really do anything. I have Dedication face down. So this is against Ghost Tricks, which is another deck I want to feature on the channel. Basically just to show you, established boards, moments that I want to go first. And I'll be honest, I lost quite a few games, and some to a few of you, so if you got to beat me, congrats. You played a lot better than I did, or Yugioh Pro was just being shit to me, which a lot of the time it was. It really was. But I digress regardless. It's, it was an amazing fun time for me, to say the least, but my opponent has a very, very established board, which can be a pain in the ass to jump over. And I go to target, he goes Ghost Trick Vanish, but it's already targeted, so it's going to be banished out. Kind of a waste there for him, but it works out for me. I don't really care. Dedication, Dark Magician of Chaos, Chaos. Attack directly for 2800 because Ryu forgot to read this card here, but that's okay because we have the breakup setup of Dark Magical Circle and pull back that Lure of Darkness off the D-Mock. It's so good. He goes for the Mummy, goes for the Jiangshi. I'm like, alright, Eternal Soul. I'm going to bring it out here, banish out your little face down kitty cat so you can't do your spammy whammy shit. At the same time, send my Dark Magician to the graveyard to get my rod back to my hand so that way I can utilize it later. I'm actually surprised he didn't go Alucard there. I was kind of expecting it to take this out and that out, but I guess the main reason he didn't want to lose it, but he loses everything else, so it works out for me. I believe this is the one time you actually get to see Phantom Knight Breaksword pop a card on the board, which was dull because dull is really an issue, to say the least. Here I go for Magician's Navigation, drop 2 level 7s, do the whole rod trick again because the rod trick is freaking amazing, and get to bring back another Dark Magician and just spam the board over and over again. It's lovely. Now, I will say this much. Dark Magician need to be able to establish a powerful board. They need to have control of the game to really showcase what the deck can do. If you can stop it from doing that, you're going to have an easy time winning. My opponent is playing some kind of Shadow variant. I'm not sure which one because there was like 40 to be completely honest. I'm not trying to sound like a dick. I'm just being completely honest there. So I'm going to go for Dark Magician, Combo Wombo. He's going to go for Twin Twists, QQ status, no monster, no good. And he's got the Angler to bring out the Mantis. So he's taking control of this game right now. And there's nothing I can really do about it. You look at my face downs, I have Eternal Soul and Dark Magical Circle, so again, as long as you have those two cards, you're fine, because those two cards work so well together, and I honestly wish I was summoning, Star Spark Dragon a little bit more, because that would have protected the Eternal Soul from Twin Twister, or just Stardust Dragon in general would have been fine, because, you could do the whole loop and break your opponent's back row, or front row. Just in general, it would have been a lot better of a situation. Whenever this card special summon Royal Summon, you get a Dark Magician to your hand, and she pretty much works like an Honest in hand, which is also fantastic. But this is going to be game right here. See, I make a Clear Wing just to show you that you can utilize her for different things that we'll be talking about. I'm going to save my favorite one, like near favorite one, for pretty much the last, or something along those lines. But my opponent's playing the Unizombie Wombo combo, which I talked about with Sage, and this just showcases how good it is even outside of just Shirayui zombies. But Magician's Rod here going to activate Power Duality as a follow-up. It's a really good follow-up. It really is. I don't have anything to really go off of. I could have made use of the robe. That would have net me, Dark Magician. I'm just going to play Warning here as I don't want that Unizombie coming back. And that triggers Robe, which, awkwardly enough, he should have attacked it, because if he would have attacked it, I would have had issues, but it didn't really matter. Hello Rod, hello Illusion Magic, hello Dark Magicians, hello Eternal Soul, hello Magician's Navigation. We're going off like no one's goddamn business tonight. Just, well, this morning, because it's the morning video, banish out the BLs and just start swinging for massive damage. And then this is the fun OTK status where you just have control and can end the game really quickly. So it does have the potential to do it. It really does. You have everything pretty much you need, but the only thing that really holds Dark Magician back is mainly, I'm not even sure what this guy was playing. It's mainly just the lack of true to form 100% consistency that honestly I feel Blue Eyes has for various amounts of reasons. But Dark Magicians obviously have their own pseudo, they have their own pseudo maiden in a way, which you just saw with the robe. And then hello, pot of duality into circle, into grab another circle into that top deck style warning. My opponent isn't going to do anything here. I'm actually quite surprised. I was just expecting something, but banish out. So as long as you have control of the game state, then you're fine. If you can get control of the game state, you're fine. If you can't do that, it's not going to end well, and it's going to be terrible. But here I just go for Red Eyes Flare Metal, because this card, honestly, I love this card against like Exodia players, because it just burns them to death. I get my free special summon, go for the Maxi. He's going to Chain Call the Haunted on top of it. So Forerunner comes on out, and Forerunner is going to take something out. I'm not quite sure. So Dark Destroyer takes out the Magician, and then his Slip Rider takes out my key card that I needed, but he goes for another pop. And since the Eclipser's not on the board, I can actually do it this way. And see, this is the problem. You need two of them, or just like, if she was in my hand and Dark Magician was on the board, yeah, I'd be able to float over his monster, and then he would float back. So Twin Twist here, because I don't want to deal with all the back row. Landwalker, I believe, will trigger now, and he's able to banish out both of them for Strawman, which will cause a loop, and Dank Lady, because Dank Lady is too fucking strong for words. And I can't really get anything going here outside of Internal Soul play, which he's drew that Twin Twister again, but he's going for the Slip Rider. I'm going to Solemn Warning because I do not want to see the Strawman hit the board. So now he plays Twin Twist. There's nothing I can do, and he ends the game. See, this is what I was talking about. If your opponent has an established board or can get to an established board really quickly, it's a lot harder over time, but this is not the final duel I have to show you. So it goes without saying pretty much, but I'll say it anyway. The Cosmo matchup is a pain in the ass, regardless, because the deck really can't drop Utopia to Lightning, even if it could, when you have that much aggression coming after you, unless you can keep the pressure going on your opponent. It's really not an easy time. And can't really use Imperial Iron Wall because you need Dark Magical Circle to banish stuff out for you, so it's a hard situation. Maybe it's just my lack of experience with that matchup, but regardless, I thought it was a good replay, so I wanted to give it to you. So there's a lot going on here. There's 17 monsters. I opted not to run certain cards, and I'll talk about why, and I opted to run certain other cards, and I'll explain why. I honestly feel, I'm going to start with Apprentice Illusion Magician. I honestly feel this card gives the deck a little bit more of what it needed. A little bit speed, a deck thinner, a level 6 body on the board that should be expanded on for all Dark Magician builds. I just haven't found full consistency with her just yet. I may bump her to 3, but time will tell. This probably will not be the last Dark Magician deck profile I post. So let's go down the deck. 3 Dark Magician, that's pretty standard. Use whatever artwork you want. 1 Dark Magician of Chaos, because you only want to run 1. 3 Magician of Black Illusion, double Apprentice Illusion Magician, 3 Magician's Rod. This is your key searcher as shown. You can pretty much loop it back. 1 Magician's Robe, it's your maiden, double Maxi, and double Effect Filler. Effect Filler isn't the greatest hand trap right now. That pretty much goes without saying, but it also carries another use, which is making Dark Magician turn into a Cypher and Lord Omega, or a Spark Dragon, or a Clearwing. Now, the reason I bring up the Cypher and Lord Omega, I just went to Scarlight, I'm so sorry. The reason I bring this up is because Magician's Navigation, you could banish it out from your graveyard, and then target 1 face-up spell or trap. So if your opponent activates something like Twin Twister, you could banish this out, and then when you banish it out, it'll nullify the Twin Twister. With Cypher and Lord Omega, it puts it back into the graveyard, so you can do it again, and again, and again, and again. I think it goes pretty understandable how easy it is to really pull that one off, and that's something I do want to expand upon in the future, especially now that Apprentice Illusion Magician is a thing. We could probably even go Crystal Wing if we wanted to. So Synchro variant of Dark Magician is pretty much in the works. That's pretty much me saying it. 3 Allure of Darkness, best draw power card for dark monsters. 1 dark magic attack searchable via Eternal Soul, which is shown in the duel videos. 1 dark magic veil, because you only really ever want one, otherwise it's dead. Triple pod duality, because you're not always special summoning on your own turn, you're special summoning on your opponent's turn, which makes it very, very viable. And for those of you who will argue, the same two monsters that can special summon themselves, you don't have to do it that turn. They can also be normal summon to get their effect. Or you can use it as a hand trap and boost your monster by 2,000. So there's that as well. Double Twin Twister. Twin Twister goes without saying. Dedication through Light and Darkness, tribute Dark Magician. You get Demock. It ends games really quickly, as shown, because you could break up your opponent's board, and then you can just drop a 2800 body. 1 Illusion Magic. This card, you tribute 1 Spellcaster, and you get 2 copies of Dark Magician from your deck. It's pretty much a Rota for Dark Magicians. Triple Dark Magical Circle. This is my favorite card in the deck, because it lets you look at the top 3, and if there's a Dark Magician card you take in, then you reorder everything else. You replace them however you want. At the same time, I gotta say I love Magician's Navigation and Eternal Soul, because they're the 3 key cards that make the deck work. Now, Magician's Navigation has 2 effects. Sorry, I'm about to say 3. It has 3 effects aside from Lord Omega. You can special 1 Dark Magician from your hand and special 1 level 7 or lower Dark Spellcaster from your deck off this card, and then if you control a Dark Magician, except the turn that this is sent to the graveyard, you can banish it from your graveyard and target 1 face-out spell or trap and nullify it. And just pretty self-explanatory how that works. And as I brought up, you can use Cypher and Lord Omega to put it back. Next up, Vanity's Emptiness. If you're going to play any semi-competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Or you want your deck to be a little bit better, Vanity's Emptiness is pretty much one of those cards that you should consider right away. 3 Eternal Soul. I cannot stress this enough. This deck becomes so much better with Eternal Soul. Not meta, just so much better, to be completely honest. And then 1 Solemn Warning, because Solemn Warning is also, just like Vanity's Emptiness, one of those cards you always want to consider. For the extra deck, 1 Scarlight, 3,000 booty that can blow up stuff, and easily brought out by Dark Magician and Effect Veiler. May expand upon this whole theory of going into level 8 synchros a lot easier in the near future. Cypher and Lord Omega. Goes without saying, Magician's Navigation, putting back your Dark Magicians from a Lord of Darkness, putting back things like Demock back into the graveyards that use Dark Magic Veil on it. It gets dumb. 1 Star Spark Dragon, protect your stuff. I may swap this out for Stardust. 1 Clear Wing. You saw how I was able to bring it out in the duel videos. Double Flare Metal Dragon. Cannot stress this enough. The burn damage adds up, and it adds up quickly. 1 Dragosack. I like Direwolf, and this is the deck's version of Direwolf. It comes in use, and it does what it does very nicely. Double Big Eye. I wanted to just pretty much run a second Dragosack, but Big Eye was more crucial. Stealing your opponent's monsters is always going to be more crucial. Double Ebon Illusion Magician. This is the one that basically special summons a Dark Magician, and then you could banish a card from the board when Dark Magician swings. 1 Ebon High Magician. I was looking at the OCG name. This thing you crash in Cosmos, and then basically it doesn't target, so there's that, and then you get your Dark Magician back, and Dark Magical Circle. But obviously I wasn't able to bring it out, because they were keeping me on a fucking leash. 1 M7, this is brought out by these two together on the same, same board, same time kind of thing. But it's one of those things I'm still a little iffy about. I mean, pulling back Effect Veiler Maxi is always nice, so that, I just included it. The Phantom Knights of Breaksword and Super Quantum Mecha Beast, Grand Pulse. I don't know about these 2 cards because they're really not oftenly seen, but when they are, another Direwolf situation and pretty much another MST. They're both good, though. I'm not trying to call them bad. And with that, there's your Dark Magician deck profile with them replays. Super Heavyweight Samurai is upcoming next. I'm not sure if tomorrow we're going to be having the booster set, not because we won't be able to get it, more because I have a fractured ankle and may not be able to travel or do the whole recording of it with all my gear and whatnot. So fingers crossed, hopefully it pans out okay, but I'll see you guys later for Tech Tuesday. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe for more, and I'll see you later. Peace.